Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a completely different video from your normal videos on this channel, and it's probably something worth discussing, and that is prizing for regionals. This has been, I guess, a topic on my mind for a while, and I guess it's a chance to kind of sit down, talk about some of the big games at the moment and how the prizes compare to the prizes that we get in Vanguard. If you guys need any coaching, my Metafy link is in the bottom right hand corner. Feel free to book a session and we can get started. If you guys haven't already, click that subscribe button for all notifications on this channel. So I'm going to compare three of probably the most competitive games in the Western scene at the moment. And that would be Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, and Pokemon. And I primarily picked these three purely because of collector's value and how it differs to Vanguard in general, right? We're not going to even talk about Weiss. Maybe Weiss can be something that is... Oh, maybe we include Weiss because, you know, generally Springfest and BCS do include Weiss prizes. But I'll get to that bit later on in the video. So we're going to compare Yu-Gi-Oh! First, then One Piece, then Pokemon, and just kind of see how different it is up to the expectations of what we should be expecting for, I guess, Bushiroad events, right? Do note that this is all my opinion, and you know, whatever you guys think, feel free to dump it in the comments. You know, it's a great way to discuss this sort of controversial topic, and you know, this is what sparked discussion, potentially sparks change, and you know, these are just very open-ended thoughts that could, you know, sometime in the near future may be implemented for the game that we love, right? So first of all, note that some of these events for these bigger games have entry fees, right? And note that Bushiroad events are free, okay? So first of all, we're going to compare Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think Yu-Gi-Oh! For YCSs or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series is equivalent to the regional level for Vanguard or Bushiroad games in general, right? So YCS, this is the 2024 one that is happening in Sydney, and I think it's this weekend actually. So just looking at the entry requirements, so the tournament package for entry is $30 Australian, right? And with that, the tournament participation stuff that you get is 5 booster packs and a Yu-Gi-Oh! Coin. So in my mind, if I was walking into a, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional, you know, had no idea what's going on, you know, I just got into the game, really enjoying it, and I just wanted to test my luck at a regional, and from a competitive player level, right, the tournament package being 5 packs and Yu-Gi-Oh! Coin, I don't know, right? Coin is commemorative, I guess, so, you know, it's something that you can kind of keep in souvenir that you've been to this event, which is cool, right? You know, commemorative items for the event is always a way for players to kind of commemorate the event that they went with their friends. And I think it's a great idea, right? But as a coin, in terms of practical use, it's probably not something I would use, right? Sure, it might be like, you know, markers for activating certain abilities in other games like Pokemon. But for Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, you know, might be, you know, something different. But 5 booster packs, sure, like whatever, right? Like I don't really care too much about the booster packs. If anything, the tournament participation prizes, it would be just the coin, right? Now, so that's the participation prizes or the participation entry stuff that you get, right? Now, going into the main event, right? This is like the topping stuff, right? The stuff that the juice of the prizes, right? So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it cuts to top 16, potentially further top 16, maybe top 32. Yeah, it depends, right? Depends on the cut. I'm actually unfamiliar with how they cut it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe it's like top 16 or, you know, X match points, and that kind of gets to the top cut maybe. Similar to like day 2 for Pokemon. So the first, well, the champion, so to say, of the event gets an ultra rare Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship prize card. So similarly in Vanguard or Bushiroad games in general, you do get a champion prize card, you know, super bling bling shiny, you know, really nice art, worth a lot of money, and you know, that's what, you know, commemorates your win, right? which is good. You know, obviously Yu-Gi-Oh is doing it right. And then this one is flights to the World Championships with accommodation and VIP status, whatever VIP status means, to the World Championship qualifier tournament. So this is, I think, like internationals or like continentals. And then that's, you know, where select players then jump to the World Finals. Yu-Gi-Oh Championship trophy. This is good, right? You know, trophy is, as people say, you know, it might get a little bit boring, but at the end of the day, a card can be sold, and a way to commemorate your win is to have something that is invaluable, right? Which is a trophy. You're not going to sell a trophy, right? Like, who the hell is going to buy your trophy if they don't win? It's like super low value to them. So, but it's super high value for you if you win the event, right? So trophy is great. Branded premium messenger bag, sure. Nintendo Switch, okay. Yu-Gi-Oh Championship Series season top cut game mat. All right, cool. So they get a playmat for coming first. I'm guessing maybe it's a championship flair, you know, championship written all over it. Playmat, maybe, right? And then world qualifying points, sure. You know, that's their tournament system, right? Let's look at the second place. So the second place gets a super rare Yu-Gi-Oh Championship prize card, right? So I'm guessing it's the same as first, potentially different, but with, you know, less flair. Right, which is, you know, granted, you know, you came second, you're not the champion, you're first. If you're not first, then you're top 8, right? And you should deserve slightly less than what the champion gets, right? Other things that they got, they obviously didn't get the flight, so they got a messenger bag just like before. Nintendo Switch, invite to the next World Qualifier tournament. Okay, so they get a world invite, well, an invite to unsponsored invite, right? Similar to how BCS does it. So second and third gets unsponsored invite to Worlds, which is okay. So this is to the qualifier tournament. They get a mat, and then they get world qualifying points. The one thing that is missing here is that second doesn't get a trophy, right? Again, maybe in Yu-Gi-Oh, they only really care about the winner, right? You're first or you're last, right? And I think in my eyes, if I am playing like a YCS, you know, 3K, 5K players, if I'm coming second, goddamn, I just axed the other 4,998 players, right? And there's nothing those guys can do about it, right? And I came second. I think I should deserve a trophy, right? So I think not having a trophy in the second place feels a bit odd. Well, at least to me anyways. And, you know, first obviously gets the trophy, obviously, but I think having second place and third place trophies would be pretty cool, right? Similarly, with the third place, they also get a super rare Yu-Gi-Oh Championship prize card, probably like, you know, stamped with third instead of, you know, second or first. Also Nintendo Switch, they don't get the premium messenger bag. They do get an invite to the World Qualifier tournament, a top cut mat, and world qualifying points. So also they don't get a trophy. So I think trophy for second and third would be pretty cool for this particular event. And then, you know, if you made it fourth, then you kind of get grouped with top 8, right? Let's be real. Like, I think the only game that really commemorates third being the same as fourth is Pokemon, right? But I think in Bushiroad games, I think One Piece does it as well. I'm actually not sure about One Piece, but alas, they, you know, commemorate first, second, and third, you know, gold, silver, bronze. That's kind of how it's supposed to be, right? But in Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, you group the fourth with the top 8, and I think, you know, that's fine, right? These guys still get a Nintendo Switch. They still get a Worlds Qualifier invite. They still get a top cut mat. They just don't get a trophy or anything like super special, right? Because you didn't place top 3, which is completely fine, right? 9th to 16th get 24 booster packs of the current booster release. So that's, I think, a box, maybe. I'm not too sure on the distributions. Sorry about that. They also get an invite to the World Qualifier tournament, a top cut mat, so top 16 mat, and world qualifying points. Sure, you know, pretty happy with that. Remainder of top cut get World Qualifier, the World's Qualifier tournament invite, a top cut mat, and world qualifying points. So this one's a little bit weird. I guess it depends on your tournament system and how it's run. If you make it to top cut, then sure, you know, you're pretty happy. You deserve to be, you know, recognized for your top. And I think that's okay, right? In other games, however, you know, if you hit top 16, you should be top 16 and only top 16 get it, right? Which is why this one's a little bit weird. But maybe it's because of their tournament system, but I'm not too sure about that. So I think, you know, looking at the pricing system here, right, there's no money. And I think the only game that really pays out money is Pokemon, right? But collector's value for Yu-Gi-Oh is huge, right? You know, collectors will buy, you know, super shiny, like exclusive, you know, one-of-a-kind cards, three-of-a-kind cards. Like, these are all like high collector value cards, right? So ultra rare, you know, championship prize card is probably going to be worth a lot, right? You sell that off, happy days, you know, you get a couple grand in your pocket and you know, you call it a day, right? Which is pretty much your payout, right? Just a little bit more effort to kind of get rid of the card, right? First and second, third trophies would be good, but otherwise, you know, everything else is kind of what you expect from, you know, first, second, and third, and then top 8, and then top 16. This one's a little bit weird, the remainder of the top cut getting a little bit more, but, you know, again, based on the tournament system. So I think, you know, there is some improvements here that Yu-Gi-Oh can do. But yeah, we're just looking at kind of how things are structured in different games, right? So the next game we're going to look at is One Piece. And One Piece is kind of like the rising star at the moment in the TCG scene. It's blowing up. We just had the World Finals over the weekend. And not going to lie, the game looks very, very appealing, right? So again, these events are paid. So, you know, people are paying entry fees for these events. And, you know, it's held multiple places around the world. You know, and it's split between, you know, like March, April, May, maybe signifying some release schedules or seasons, so to say. But okay, this is where we want to see, right? So the participation, I guess, stuff that you get is an offline regional participation pack 2024. So generally these cards have a lot of value. So we're gonna go through a bunch of them because we'll look at the images of, I guess, the stuff that you actually get, right? Participation event pack volume 3 × 2. So I'm guessing that's like, I guess, similar to like a PR pack that you get for, like, you know, tournaments throughout the season. And I guess the offline regional one is like exclusive to the event itself, right? And then a Don card, which is like a card that you use for your mana system or, you know, your resource system in the game. And yeah, that's pretty cool, right? It's commemorative. Don cards, Gear 5, I'm guessing it's like you can only get it at regionals. So that being a commemorative card for a part of the system or a part of the mechanic of the game that you play, that's cool, right? I go to a regional event, I get a Don card, I get to keep it, and, you know, these are worth, you know, quite a little bit, you know, maybe like $20, $30. It's got like a stamp on it, or maybe like some alternate art or whatever it is. It's exclusive to the event. That's what you want, right? And for me, maybe if I'm like not caring about the money, you know, I'm using this really cool card in my deck, right? That's what you want. You know, you go to your locals, you're playing it part of your 10 card Don deck, and, you know, everyone's like, oh damn, like you went to that regional, that's pretty cool, right? So it's commemorative for the event, yeah? But One Piece is actually pretty generous in terms of their other pricing as well. So if the player cap hits over 10,024 players, the top 512 players get an additional Don card. Pretty cool. I mean, you know, it rewards bigger events, and I think that's okay. You know, like, it's like an extra participation card, like big companies like this, it's like mass production for them, right? Top 256. So, you know, if players reach 512 or more, then the top 256 get an exclusive promotion sleeve, and it's one pack. So I'm guessing this one pack is just, you know, a pack of event exclusive sleeves. That's pretty cool, right? Top 128 also get another Don card. Sure, like pretty happy with that, regardless of participation rates. Top 64 get a promo card, the Ustas Captain Kid promo card, and then 4 of the event pack volume 3. So I guess this event pack might have like some really good stuff in it, and, you know, it's worth collector's value, right? Top 32, you get an offline regional finalist card set. So I'm guessing that's like a pack that has like 7 cards maybe, and it has like, you know, a series of like regional stamped cards to make a set, right? Which is pretty cool, you know. For an IP like One Piece, it's huge. There's a collector's market for it, and you know, it will sell well, right? Now we get to the juicier bits, right? So top 16 will get a Trafalgar Law promo card, and I'm guessing this is like a pretty sparkly prize card, as well as an extra Don card. So essentially, if you hit top 16, you get 1 Don, 2 Dons, 3 Dons, potentially 4 Don cards, and those Don cards are regional exclusive. You know, you offload them, $50, pretty cool, right? Happy days. An invite to the finals, but only for North America. I'm guessing because, you know, NA is huge and, you know, it's worth an invite, right? So that's how like, I guess internationals or like continentals, and then, you know, representatives from continentals makes it to worlds, right? Then top 8 gets a Monkey D. Luffy, I think. Yeah, okay, so previously this Monkey D. Luffy, I think, was a serial number card. And then top 8 also gets a Shanks serial number card. So I know for sure these serial number cards go for a lot. And that's probably because there's a huge collector's market for One Piece. And obviously, you know, serial numbers, you know, if you get number 1, then happy days, you know, you're winning, you're bing chilling. But even then, like, serial numbers just mean that, you know, there's a lot of collector value in it, right? Because if someone's trying to get like all, you know, 10 serial number cards, then it's going to be worth a lot of money, right? So that's pretty cool. So you get like a serial number card, and yeah, second place gets a second place playmat. So notice that top 8 does not get a playmat, right? Which is pretty odd to me. But anyways, we can get a little bit more into that. Then the champion gets a regional champion playmat, you know, super sparkly, you know, has champion and your name written all over it. An offline regional champion card set. So I'm guessing it's the same card set that you get for top 32, but you get it as champion stamp. So there's only going to be like, what, 1 per regional, and then there'll be X amount of regional. So this champion card set is going to be like, you know, pretty good collector's value, right? And then you also get the promotion sleeve Yamato pack, which is weird because I think you also get it if you get top 256 if 512 players or more make it to the regional, which is, yeah, a little bit odd. So yeah, those are the prizes. So I'm just going to look through some of like the packs and the stuff that you get. So this one is the offline regional participation pack. So I'm guessing it's like, you know, cards for some of the decks that might be like really good. So yeah, you know, you have like one black card, 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 green. So I guess that's like maybe 4 staples maybe. I'm unsure because, you know, I haven't really played the game much, if at all. Event pack volume 3. So this one has like, I know this card, and I think this card is like pretty good. But like, you know, you get 4 different cards, and I'm guessing it's like maybe alternate art, which is pretty cool, you know. 1 card per pack though, so it's like, you know, similar to BSF now and BCS the year before, where you get like, you know, different high value promos, and they just dump it in a pack, and then you kind of gacha for it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This Don card, so this is pretty cool, you know, like game mechanic cards that are mutual to every deck, having, I guess, commemorative stuff towards it, right? Like, you can only get this from this particular regional, and, you know, the longer the game goes, and, you know, mechanically, it's always going to be there, right? So this card holds its value, right? And then this is the limited promotion sleeve for Yamato, which is pretty cool, honestly. That sleeve looks pretty sick. And then this is the promo card that I think you get for top 16, if I'm not mistaken. No, top 64. So the Captain Kid, this is top 64. This is the top 32 offline regional finalist card set. So notice that this is the same as the one that we saw above, this one here. So I'm guessing it's foiled, maybe, which kind of makes sense, right? Like, it wouldn't make sense if you just get another card, but I guess it's a card set, right? So this is 1 card per pack, whereas if you hit top 16, you get all 4 of them, right? So which is, you know, pretty cool. And then you get this Trafalgar Law. This card looks pretty sick, and I'm guessing this is like super bling. So you hit top 16, you get a Trafalgar Law, which is pretty bonkers, right? Top 16 and a regional, you know, this, you get a commemorative card to take home with you, right? Top 8, we'll get this Monkey D. Luffy. I'm guessing this is forward as well. And then obviously serial number cards are foil. We did see it previously with the serial Luffy. So if you get, you know, a serial number, this is like super bling bling top 8. And that's your commemorative card, right? Then it immediately jumps to second place playmat. And notice the second place playmat is different from the regional champion playmat, which is, you know, pretty cool. Like first and second kind of have their, you know, commemorative stuff, which is exclusive to them, right? But no trophies, no nothing, right? And then this is the offline regional champion card set. So notice how it has like the champion flares or the champion logos, hot stamps, and that's that. And then there's like a bunch of side events, right? So in One Piece, I know that in the Japan side of One Piece, they do get like glass frame trophies. So I think that's pretty cool too. So, you know, being able to commemorate it with, an invaluable object to commemorate your win is pretty cool, because, you know, you can just sell this regional champion playmat. It's probably going to be worth heaps because there's only limited amounts in the world. Same with the second place playmat as well. But top 8 only get a serial number card, but I guess in terms of the One Piece value, like collector's value, this is huge. But, you know, coming from a smaller card game, I would want something that is, you know, like a playmat for top 8, which is pretty cool. You know, I can bring it to somewhere, play, and people say, oh damn, you made top 8 at a regional. That's like, you know, how should I say it? It's commemorative to you, right? But yeah, you know, promo cards, prize cards, so to say, for top 8 is pretty cool too. So I think this only really works with One Piece though, right? You try to do this for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's going to be really hard, right? You try to do maybe with Pokemon, it's pretty hard, right? Pokemon, maybe it's a little bit easier because there's a lot of collectors out there, right? But One Piece, because it's so big, the IP of it is huge. There's collectors everywhere for it. There's never been a One Piece card game. You know, collectors will find these cards and will want them, right? So in terms of monetary value, like, it's huge, right? Only because the IP allows for it, right? Like, for example, if you try to put this for Vanguard, it won't work, right? Because the IP for Vanguard is just too small. But you try to put it for Weiss, then it might work, right? Because Weiss, you know, you have a lot of collectors for, you know, anime series, and that might work, right? Maybe for Shadowverse it will work as well, because I know Shadowverse has a lot of, you know, collector's value. But for Vanguard, it does not work, right? Because our IP is just not big enough for collectors, for a collector's market to even exist, right? Sure, you know, you might have like people who want flares of like cards to max bling their deck, but it's nothing on the lines of like, you know, One Piece, you know, literally giving you a free house from a serial number card, right? So yeah, that's just the reality, right? But again, no cash, nothing. Most of the prizing actually comes from selling the stuff that you get for winning, right? Selling the serial number shanks, selling all of these, you know, that's where the monetary value comes from, right? Similar to Yu-Gi-Oh and the YCS, but obviously, you know, One Piece's IP is much bigger than, I'm guessing, Yu-Gi-Oh, because One Piece, the anime itself, the manga itself is huge, and, you know, there's a huge collector's market for it, and that's how the game is able to produce something and get people enticed in their competitive scene, right? Now jumping to a different game, which is Pokemon. And Pokemon Regionals, I have won a Pokemon Regionals before, and, you know, it's prestigious, right? Because of the IP, right? Winning a Pokemon Regionals is like equivalent to nearly winning a Worlds in Vanguard, right? Like, the moment I won Perth Regionals, like, my deck got covered pretty much everywhere. Like, I remember there was like an Instagram reel by Copag, so that's the Pokemon Brazil, and it featured the deck that I played and one of the seniors played. We played the same 60, and it was sick, right? Like, you know, the information on my deck pretty much traveled everywhere. Azul covered it as well, and I think Rahul covered it, and a lot of people kind of covered that deck as well. It's a little bit different from your traditional Lost Box deck, but pretty much you win Pokemon Regional, it's like very, very prestigious, right? Pokemon have a different ranking system, so they use a points ranking system. So if you get a certain amount of points, then you make it to Worlds. Obviously that buffer increased from last year. Last year was slightly lower because it's coming off COVID. But yeah, let's look at the prizes. So prizes in this case is money, right? So for the TCG Regional Championship, so if you come first, we'll only talk about the Masters Division because that's kind of where it really matters, right? So if you win a regional for 2024 in the Masters Division, you get 10K, right? If you come second, you get 7. If you get third and fourth, you get 5. Top 8, you get 3K. Top 16, you get 2K. Top 32, you get 1K. Top 64, you don't get anything, right? You also get booster packs. So I think 108 equates to 3 boxes. 72, 3 boxes. Yeah, 3 boxes. Because 36 is 1 box. So you get 3 boxes for coming first, second, third, and fourth, and top 8 as well. So you get 3 boxes for getting top 8, which is, you know, pretty cool. But for me, in terms of the packs themselves, I don't really care, right? Top 16, you get 2 boxes. Top 32, you get 1 box, and then you get a half a box for top 64, right? To me, the booster packs don't matter if I'm a competitive player, right? I would have gotten all the cards that I want, and these boxes don't really care. Like, it doesn't really matter to me, right? So I'd flog them off, you know, for some extra side cash on top of whatever I want here, right? Coming from last year, I ended up coming first, so obviously getting the Masters Division first place payout, and then a series of points towards my Worlds invite, and then I also got a medal, right? Medals, again, commemorative for my win. I was very happy with the medal. It's a Pikachu medal. The strap was like pretty thick, and it felt good, right? I also got a champion playmat as well, and I think that's really cool. It's got champion written all over it. Same art as the top 8 mat. Top 8 got mats. I don't think top 16 got mats, but top 8 definitely got mats. First, second, third, and fourth all got medals. So third and fourth equates to bronze. Second is silver, and then obviously first is gold. And then yeah, so that is the regional stuff. Note that there's no prize cards involved, right? So it's a different pricing system, but if you think about it, right, in terms of the 10K that you win for like a Masters regional here, equates to just as much as you win in terms of prize card value for some of the other IP competitive events, right? You look at One Piece, if you come first, you get like a regional playmat. This card set's probably going to be worth a lot of money. You also get like a cereal Shanks, so that's going to be tons of money, but that's because the IP allows for it, right? You look at Yu-Gi-Oh! If you come first, you get the ultra rare Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship prize card. That's probably worth a bit of money. Maybe someone correct me if it's not. Then you know that's because the IP allows for it, right? Then you know later on we'll talk about Vanguard and Bushiroad games. That's just kind of how it applies. And yeah, you know that's just how it is. Pokemon events, as participation, you do get a regional event stamped promo card as well as a playmat for the event, which is pretty cool, you know, like in comparison to a lot of these other regionals where I think for One Piece you get this pack, a Don card, and another promo pack. So you essentially get 1, 2, 3, 4 promo packs and a Don card. Like Don is pretty cool. It's like equivalent to my boss's orders that I get, or my Gita or my Turo that I get for like regionals. I get like a regional stamp on it, so it's commemorative to the event, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just 5 packs and a coin. The coin is commemorative, I guess, but the practical use of it is just not there, right? Whereas One Piece, it is, right? The Don card is used. For Pokemon, it's used because it's a staple for like a boss's orders or an Iono, or in the past it was like I think like alternate arts of like boss's orders, and then previously to that there's probably like judges, or you know, some of these like staple for, I guess, the rotation or the format it's in, these cards can be used, right? So it's practical. So I've outlined essentially 3 of the top games, and I think the 3 most, I guess, aesthetically pleasing in terms of prizes that you get, right? So I'm going to compare 2 events for Bushiroad games, and the first one is Springfest, and how Springfest equates to the prizes that you get at the other 3 games, right? The huge difference here is that all Bushiroad games are free, right? No entry fee. You walk in, you register a deck, you sit down, you play with friends, you know, you have a good time, right? No fees. Same with Bushiroad Championship Series. No fee for entry, it's free entry, you walk in, you get stuff, you go out, right? So I'm gonna walk through, I guess, the Springfest, and also just kind of put hand in hand the BCS 2023 stuff side to side, just to kind of see the differences, right? So Bushiroad Springfest 2024, each participant gets a deck box. You also get a participation promo pack. So I'm guessing you get 1, right? You get 1, each participant will receive 1 promo card randomly. So it's very similar to the One Piece pack where you get 1 of 4 cards, right? Which is pretty cool. You know, I'm guessing it's like similar to this where it's like event exclusive. So I guess this is not really event exclusive, although, you know, the cards in there are, you know, probably big money cards that, you know, people are looking out for, right? Which is kind of imitated in this, right? So participation pack, you get one randomly from 8 cards. So I guess the sample size is much bigger. But I guess like you don't ever see this art of Trickstar. I guess Versatile you did see previously as a box topper, Swirl as an SP. Spiral Cutie is an FFR, but you don't ever get to see a full art Spiral Cutie. Misty Art Habitat, this is one that has frameless or borderless. Yuika, you only get an FFR, so this as being full art's like pretty cool. Crystal Luster is in SR, I think, so it's like slightly different, but it's an expensive card. Dismal also came in full art rarity as well with no borders, right? So it's like kind of whatever, right? But again, it's trying to mimic the exact same as One Piece, which is pretty cool, right? Like I'm pretty happy with that. The difference here is like you pay what, $30, $40 for this regional, and you get double or 3 extra promo packs, right? And a Don card, right? So in terms of Bushiroad games, you get a participation deck box and you get 1 promo pack instead. So you miss out on 3 promo packs and maybe like a participation, you know, event exclusive card that you can use in your deck. Yeah, you miss out those 4 instead of paying for the event $30, right? Whether or not that equates, I'm not sure, right? So I guess Weiss is the same, right? So Weiss here, you get like a free fight promo and the participation promo, and it's stamped, right? So sure, Weiss is a little bit hard because there's so many series, right? So there's not very many generically good cards that you can get for Weiss in general that accommodates for all decks, right? So that one's a little bit hard. And then Shadowverse is similar to One Piece where they have like a random promo pack and then you get 1 of these 7 cards, right? Which is, you know, pretty cool. Then immediately it jumps to Champion. And so Champion gets a Champion promo card, 1 of these 4 based on the format that you play. Cool, right? Champion promos, always cool. And yeah, you know, like I'm pretty happy with that. Certificates will be given out to top 3 teams. Sure, like top 3, no worries. But I don't see a mention of medals. I don't see a mention of top cut mats. Like, am I missing something? Like previous events, there was top 3 mats, which was pretty cool. You know, you had to play for prestige, which is okay. Like if I get to top 4, I miss out, then, you know, get better, get good, right? So yeah, like no top cut mats is very, very odd. And I think that's, you know, a little bit odd to see, especially for like a pretty big event like Springfest. And, you know, the the event being, you know, lengthy now, not having top 3 get anything prestigious is like very, very, very odd to me, right? Then you look at BCS last year, right? Again, you get like the promo pack, which is similar to One Piece, pretty cool. So you get one of these tournament packs. Twice again, you get this participation card pack or card, and it's like, you know, a little bit hard to kind of accommodate for all series, which is, you know, alas, like it is what it is, right? Participation sleeves. So this one is pretty cool. This is actually practical, right? Because these would be event exclusive, right? Because you would never get this anywhere else. But funnily enough, the original prints of these had the logo on the left, whereas this logo is on the right. So technically, it's regional exclusive, right? So sure, you know, you get regional exclusive sleeves and you can use them, right? Free fight, we don't worry about too much about free fight. Then top 8 gets mats, and I think this is really good, right? You get to top 8, you've ran through 8 to 9 rounds, you should be awarded for placing top 8. That's just how it is, right? Top 8 gets mats, cool. Top 4 gets certificates, sure. All right, certificates is, you know, good. Top 3 all get trophies, which is very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, oh no, not Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, with Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh no, Pokemon, sorry. Where, you know, you get gold, silver, bronze. That makes sense. You know, top 4 kind of goes towards top 8, but in this case, you get a certificate. Woo, pretty cool. And then the champion PR, right? Champion PR is perfectly fine, you know, and you get a sponsored world invite. And then top 3, you get a non-sponsored world invite. Cool, right? So I think overall, the BCS structure is very close to being optimal, right? And this is coming from an event that is free, yeah? Free means there's a limited budget that they could probably use, and that's just how the prizes are set, right? Now, one thing I do want to note, and how to kind of improve the tournament structure in terms of prizes, right? So for Vanguard Deluxe, what they did for top 3, they gave the same promo, but with the flair of first, second, and third. And I think that is really cool, right? And I think also having top 8 stamped promos that is completely different to the first, second, and third would be pretty good too, right? So I think they got like the PGs and the OTs. So like that being a top 8 for like a particular regional would be really cool, right? So if we're talking about Springfest, it's a little bit different because Springfest is like a teams format versus a solos format. So I'm talking purely from singles format, right? So singles format, what I really want to see would be like the champion promo, where the champion promo becomes flared with first place, second place, third place. You know, that would be really cool, right? And then, you know, trophies, pretty normal. And I think that is a must. I think trophies and medals should be a must for first, second, and third. Top 4, you know, oh well, you still get a top 8 promo that is, you know, completely different to commemorate your top 8 placing and a top 8 mat. You get a certificate, cool, no worries. You didn't come first, second, and third, too bad, right? That's just how it is. Yes, you do feel bad because you missed out on your world's invite, but you know, unfortunately, get better, right? That's just how it is, right? And it's really unfortunate because I know a lot of people have come forth, and you know, now that they have the pass down effect for the non-sponsored invites and the sponsored invites, you know, it's a good opportunity. Maybe the 4th place does get a sponsored invite, well, an unsponsored invite, right? So they still get an invite to Worlds, and you know, they're pretty happy, right? They walk home with at least a top 8 promo and a top 8 mat. I'm pretty happy with that, right? The good thing is about these events, you don't get given booster packs, right? Why is booster packs much better in other games and not for Vanguard, right? The reason being is that for Pokemon, you can actually resell them to collectors. Again, this word collector comes up, right? Same with One Piece. One Piece, if you get, you know, like some top 16 promo, top 32 card pack, you can sell them to collectors, right? Yu-Gi-Oh, you get like a Nintendo Switch, some booster packs. This is probably weird to me because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't really have too much of a, you know, big collector's base. And, you know, sure, maybe like you pull that fire spell that is worth like, you know, $50-$60, then you're pretty happy. But otherwise, 24 packs is just like kind of whatever, right? So in Pokemon, you can sell the sealed product to, you know, collectors, and, you know, they'll collect these boxes, which is why I think for Bushiroad games, not having product is fine, right? But what I do want to see is to see the champion promo have flares of first, second, and third, all the way to third. Obviously with Bushinabi now, Bushinabi flare would be pretty cool to commemorate your placing. And then top 8, you would get like a top 8 exclusive promo for the regional. That would be pretty cool as well. The participation stuff, you know, I'm pretty happy with like the participation sleeves because it's regional exclusive. And I think this PR pack is really cool, but maybe the sample size is too big. Maybe 8's too big, maybe cut it down to 6. Then that way, you know, more availability of the card. And, you know, like some of these aren't really great, like Wiseman, the Degnud, the Asmi, maybe Tegria. Like only really 4 of them are good, like the Broken Toys, the Mask, Bobo, and Rollock. Like they're good, right? So you mix like 2 other really good cards, and then you have like a really sick 6 card pack that, you know, people will just, you know, churn through, right? And it's exclusive for, you know, Free Fight as well. So, you know, circulation of them would be pretty good. Then looking at Springfest, right? The fact that you don't have top 3 mats is a big red flag. And I think, you know, top 3 mats is really cool. They had it in previous years. Let's just look actually at like BSF 2023, right? Because I know 2023 had them. But I think 2023 had a lot going on. Like, I think their regional championship had like participation playmats, which was pretty wild to me. And I think that's pretty big. Like participation playmat, participation PR, top 4 certificates, top 3 mats. Like I think top 3 mats is great, right? Top 4 certificates, sure. You know, maybe top 4 promo would be pretty cool. Or like, you know, yeah, maybe top 4 promo, top 3 mats, and then champion PR is fine, right? For first, second, and third teams. Because, you know, you're trying to print like, what, 3 lots of like first, second, and third flared cards is like going to be pretty costly, right? So I think top 3 mats is fine. Champion promo for Springfest is fine. Top 4 promos, you could probably omit that. But just having top 3 mats is great, right? But the fact that we don't see it this year, that's huge. Like, that's a really big flag, right? I know in 2023, we didn't get medals either. And I think medals is a must as well. So medals for Springfest, top 3 mats, top 8 is just like whatever. If you get to top 8, then sure. Maybe, I don't know, extra packs of like, I don't know, the participation PR, or extra packs of the, you know, participation stuff. Like, that'd be pretty cool, right? You get to top 8, you get like 5 packs of these, cool. You know, I'm pretty happy with that. Or like, you know, a series of all 6. Like, it's not hard, right? So yeah, like those are like kind of my inputs for Springfest. Obviously, recapping again, first team gets the champion cards, which is fine. Top 3 mats, top 4 certificates is fine. Top 8, maybe throw in like, you know, 2 of these participation packs or whatever to each player on each team. You know, you'd be in a pretty good place, right? Deck box is pretty cool. It's commemorative for the event. It's practical use. You know, every player can use it, and I think that's pretty cool, right? Then jumping to BCS again, you know, top 3 flares for each of the champion cards, the first, second, and third. That'd be pretty cool. Trophies again for top 3. Keep the invites as it is. You know, sponsored invite for champs. Non-sponsored invites for second and third, and obviously if you have your invite already, then it passes down. Top 4 certificates. Top 8, would love to see top 8 promos on top of this as well, because it's a solos event, and I think solos events is very prestigious, especially if you're going through, you know, 400 player tournaments, 500 player tournaments. You get top 8, you should definitely be rewarded for that. So, you know, an exclusive promo card just for top 8. Well, top 8 or higher, so, you know, first, second, then fourth still get it anyways, with like, I don't know, BCS 24, 25 or whatever, that'd be pretty cool. And then, you know, the rest is as it is. So yeah, that is my thoughts on some of the pricing for Vanguard and kind of how it compares to other games. Again, don't expect cash prizes, don't expect, you know, prizes to be, you know, super big money. Our IP is small in comparison to Pokemon, to One Piece, to Yu-Gi-Oh. You gotta understand, like, these card games are huge and the prizes are big because of the IPs themselves, and they can sell the stuff to collectors to get that money back. Whereas Vanguard, the collector's market is not big, and it's actually pretty small, right? It's a very niche collector's market, I guess. You know, players want to bling out their deck, cool. You know, you grab a Harmonix for whatever the price is, cool. That's pretty cool, right? So yeah, like seeing these additions, seeing these changes for future Bushiroad events would be cool. And you know, that should be the standard, right? Like, you don't need any more than what I've kind of, I guess, explained in this video, because again, the IP for Vanguard, the IP, you know, for, you know, well, for Vanguard in comparison to Pokemon, to One Piece, to Yu-Gi-Oh, is not as big, or nearly even as big as those. So just having those prizes, as you know, I've explained it, will be sufficient, right? Don't ever need to change it. You know, change obviously the cards in it, change the arts, change the hot stamp to commemorate your event, but otherwise the structure of the prizes should be like that. We're not going to even talk about worlds. I think that might be something for another video. But yeah, you know, these are just my thoughts, and you know, if you guys want to engage on this, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What prizes do you want to see? Like, maybe there are some things that you don't, you know, necessarily agree with me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think it's a great topic to kind of talk. These are just my opinions, just out of my head right now. And yeah, really interested to seeing your responses as well. If you guys liked this video, pop a like, and if you haven't already, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.